All right. So the Joe Burrow story and the recruitment of Joe Burrow is wild fascinating to me because it was clear that Joe Burrow changed LSU football forever, but it was made super clear to me when Ed Orgeron put it down in black and white. So follow along here if you have the book. If not, I'm just going to tell you about it. This is 151 on Flip the Script. The first time I ever heard of Joe Burrow was from my son, Cody. Ohio State had played its spring game the week before we played ours in 2018. Burrow threw a 42-yard touchdown pass on the final play of the Buckeyes scrimmage. Cody watched it on TV and had been following Joe on social media. Cody called me, said, "Dad, this Joe Burrow is going to transfer from Ohio State. You got to get him." I went to Bill Bush, our safeties coach, who had spent a season at Ohio State in 2015 as quality control assistant. Joe's first season with the Buckeyes, said, "What do you think about us trying to get Joe Burrow here as a grad transfer? If we get Burrow, we're going to the college football playoff." That's what Bill Bush said. I said, "Let's get him then." That's what Ed Orgeron said. Joe got his release a few weeks later. Bill handled the transfer to LSU on our end because he knew the family. A lot of people knew Joe's dad, Jimmy Burrow, who was a defense coordinator at Ohio. And I figured there'd be a lot of competition to get Joe. His dad knew a lot of people I knew, even if I didn't realize that at the time. Jimmy had been in the Midwest for a long time, but we found out that he was actually from Mississippi. But then he went to Nebraska to play for the Cornhuskers. When Joe was coming out of high school in Ohio, he was a great basketball player and a very talented quarterback. He threw for a lot of yards and ran for a lot too. He was first team All-State point guard in basketball. His dad's alma mater was Nebraska, where Joe's older brothers, Dan and Jamie, played. They didn't recruit him, though, which I thought was stupid. He'd gone to Ohio State. He redshirted his first year, and then spent 2 seasons as the backup Buckeyes quarterback J.T. Barrett. And Joe was a terrific student, made academic all Big Ten, graduated from Ohio State in 3 years with a business degree. When the starting quarterback job came open, Urban Meyer went with Dwayne Haskins. Y'all know how that goes, right? So they find out, ultimately, it was going to be Joe's decision where he went next and that parents weren't really going to figure in. Nebraska wasn't interested, which, again, stupid. How are you not interested in Nebraska? How does that not happen? Stupid. All right. Cincinnati was really interested in him. They had an in because Luke Fickell, the head coach, was, former assistant for the Buckeyes, defense coordinator. They had 2 other offensive coaches, Joker Phillips. Man, Joker Phillips, hadn't heard that name in a long time. Kentucky, last time I heard that name. And Mike Hartline, who he was close to at the time. They spent time together at Ohio State. Cincinnati was close to where he lived, obviously. Man is playing NFL football in the state of in the city of Cincinnati right now, coming out of Athens. And his girlfriend, found out that, Cincinnati was in, and she was from Cincinnati. So Ed Orgeron is all kinds of nervous because he thinks that Cincinnati is going to win one Joe Burrow. So when he heard that Cincinnati had promised that Joe he'd get the starting job, he started to freak out. The day that Joe walked onto their campus, he was going to be their starter. At LSU, we already had a 3-quarterback battle for the starting job, with 2 of the guys having come from top 10 recruits, Miles Brennan and Lowell Narcisse. Okay. And the third guy was Justin McMillan. Justin McMillan ends up transferring to Tulane. Okay. So Justin McMillan also ends up transferring to Tulane after first just not showing up to practice one day after it felt like Joe Burrow was going to be the dude, right? Then decided he wanted to come back to LSU, and Ed Orgeron was like, "Nah, it's cool. I can't let you come back." Plus, Ed wanted Joe Burrow to be the guy, and Justin McMillan was the locker room guy. So that made it easier for Ed Orgeron to lock Justin McMillan out after Justin McMillan decided not to show up to practice one day. And he was able, Ed was able to tell the team, Justin McMillan quit on y'all, making it easier for Joe's transition. But I'm going to jump ahead a little bit here because I thought that it was really interesting what Ed Orgeron had to say about finally landing Joe. So they take him to dinner, and the story that many people have heard, if you don't know it, they're taking him to a restaurant. They want to serve crawfish. They don't have crawfish. Ed Orgeron sends out for crawfish. They bring the crawfish through the back so they can eat the crawfish. All right. So Joe talks a little bit about playing at LSU, what that might be for him. And Ed Orgeron told him straight up, I can't promise you the starting quarterback job, but Joe, you're going to be my starting quarterback. I have watched you on tape. I listened to you today in that room. I have total confidence that you're going to be our starting quarterback. Look at me, Joe. I have got to win here. I am putting it all on the line. You're going to be our starting quarterback, but I can't guarantee you the starting job right off the bat. I got to be loyal to my players and give them a chance. I know the talent on this team. You will be my starting quarterback, though, if you come in and do the things you're supposed to do. And if the head coach thinks you should be the starting quarterback, guess who is going to be the starting quarterback? To which Joe Burrow says, as coolly as ever, I got you, coach. Like, that's wild to me that Ed Orgeron was pleading with Joe Burrow to come to LSU. And then it gets better because they are waiting on Joe to make a decision. He called. They didn't get an answer. Monday morning, Ed Orgeron called his older brother, Dan. And he said, I thought Dan was key to Joe. Dan was an honest guy, gung-ho. I knew I made a good connection with him that weekend. He was the guy who broke the ice that Saturday. I was pretty sure he believed that LSU was the best place for his brother. So here's the dialogue here. Hey, Dan, what's going on, Joe? Well, coach, it's his decision. Hey, Dan, F that. Only he said the four-letter word. LSU or Cincinnati. Listen, Dan, I want you to reach down there and check your package. If you got two, you need to give him a call and tell him LSU is the best place for him. Are you going to let him go to Cincinnati instead of LSU, Dan? Well, it's going to be up to Joe. Danny, if you love your brother and want what's best for him, and I know you do, you got to call him and be firm with him. Yes, sir. I know you love your brother, and you know the best decision for him is to go to LSU. You got to be strong and forceful in how you say it. Yes, sir. Like, wow. That story is bonkers to me. Because, like, Ed Orgeron is recruiting like everybody says that they recruit. And I don't know that every coach takes it that far. I don't know that every coach is calling a kid repeatedly, trying to get through, and then calling his older brother, and then challenging his older brother's manhood while telling him, you got to be a man and tell your brother what to do. There are parents that won't go that far. Like, I got to believe that Ed Orgeron makes that phone call to some parents, they hanging up the phone, right? This makes the Patrick Surtain story even more funny because Patrick Surtain Sr. said he wanted Patrick Surtain Jr. to go to a place where they're going to win championships. And Ed Orgeron apparently told Patrick Surtain Sr., that's what we're going to do here. And Patrick Surtain Sr. raised an eyebrow. It's like, So, he trying to say, look at what we did in 2019, right? Even as Pat Surtain Jr. is probably going to be the first cornerback taken off the board in 2021. Like, all of that story is bonkers to me. All of that story is wild to me. And I love it so much because it's authentically Ed Orgeron. It's all the things that people love and all the things that people hate about Ed Orgeron smashed together. Right there. You understand how Ed Orgeron is able to swing Reggie Bush to USC. That actually happened. Matter of fact, go check that video out on the channel. I interviewed Reggie Bush on my radio show at Big 12 Media Days in 2019. And he told a story about I wasn't going to LSU. And then Ed Orgeron convinced me to be over there. I wonder if he convinced him or, did that grab him by the lapel thing that he did to Dan to tell him what he's going to do. Like, that's wild to me. Goodness me. All right. Let me see. What else we got in here? Do I have time to talk a little bit about the King's Gambit? Let's see. Shout out Doc for telling everybody, hey, look, thanks for showing up, everyone. Help this channel keep growing by smashing the like button and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Which reminds me, I do have something I want to get across to you. All right. Let me go at this another way. I want you guys to consider registering and donating to the Pearl House. Okay? What is the Pearl House? The Pearl House was founded in 2013 to provide hope for girls in rural Ghana, Africa, by providing physical care, emotional support, spiritual development, and life-changing academic vocational opportunities. They empower their girls to discover their unique identity and purpose in Christ. Together, we are shaping a brighter future for these girls, their communities, and their nation. The mission of the Pearl House is to protect, educate at-risk young women in underserved communities around the world. They are committed to helping our pearls of great price become amazing women that they want to be. Now, I botched that read, and I'm going to probably do it again in another segment. But I have donated to the Pearl House. One of my very good friends, Steve Bullard, and his wife, who you've heard from Steve on this channel, help run that organization. The Pearl House virtual gala is Tuesday, December 1, 2020. There's a link in the description right now where you can go check out thepearlhouse.org and see what that organization is all about. The way that I put it in my head and the way that I communicate it to other people is, who does not want to help girls get through school? And black women get through school. Very close to me, very close to my heart. And I'm very, very interested in spreading that message. So visit thepearlhouse.org. Go take a look at the virtual gala. There's also a silent auction where you can bid on all types of stuff. I've never actually participated in a silent auction. It would probably be my first time to do it. Maybe I'll see you at the virtual gala. I am registered to be there. It's going to be via Zoom, so we're not going to be contacting each other, which is how I want it to be, because I'm not trying to catch any of y'all cooties. So visit, please. Brandon Garcia, yo, RJ, dream Oklahoma versus Texas high school football matchup. I don't know, man. Like, if we're taking it like era, like right now, give me Owasso versus Duncanville. Give me Bixby versus Denton Ryan. How about that? Right? Let's do that. I think that would be a lot of fun. I was going to do the Queen's Gambit thing, but I don't think that I need it today, so I'm probably going to save it. I really want to I've been putting together a bunch of notes about the Queen's Gambit, both the TV show and the novel, because I think it's really, really fun. All right. I appreciate y'all for coming through. Remember, if you like the channel, subscribe to the RJ Young Show. Like this video, share these videos with your friends. We have over 56,000 folks that have subscribed to the channel, which is 3 times as many as the college football channel for Fox, which is wild and really inspiring. And I make videos every day, 4 times a day, live stream on Mondays and Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, where if you're in the chat and you have a good question, I try to take it on. That is it for me. I will see y'all in a few hours. Deuces.